Constantine Braconsider basically telling you to strive to constantly, be or dwell in the right frame or state of mind. With that, I say welcome to the conversation on Tier West Television Network, a digital first Pan-African news network, and as always, we're reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. My name is Adesuwa Osui.
And I am Sagir Ibrahim. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
All right, so we move straight into development across Africa. That is bringing you stories and happenings from across the African continent. And we'll be starting with this news from South Africa. That says President Cyril Ramaphosa on Sunday announced the introduction of COVID-19 vaccine passport in South Africa. This is amid widespread mistrust of the COVID-19 vaccine in the Africa's most affected country. The immunization of the adult population was a necessary prerequisite to fully reopen the economy and avoid a fourth wave of infections, Ramaphosa said in a televised address.
And a leading figure in Guinea's opposition on Saturday advised ECOWAS not to impose economic sanctions on Guinea's new military regime, describing the recent coup as a welcome development. The junta does not deserve the sanction because it put an end to a situation of lawlessness, former Prime Minister Cellou Dalein Diallo, who ran unsuccessfully against the deposed leader of Conde 3 times in successive presidential elections, said in an interview.
But do you think the ECOWAS was right to have actually, banned Guinea from, being a member of the body?
Well, basically, ECOWAS only admits democratically elected government and countries into the community. So, for them to have taken the step against Guinea means that they do not support the coup. So, obviously, I think that's just their position.
Okay. All right. Away from Guinea to this story from Tunisia. So, 7 weeks after President Kais Saied seized power in moves his foes called a coup, he has indicated he was preparing to change Tunisia's constitution, but only using existing constitutional means. One of Said's advisors had on Thursday disclosed the president was planning to suspend the constitution and offer an amended version via a referendum. All right, that's it for development across Africa segment. Right about now we're bringing you COVID-19 updates from across Africa, and after that we will bring in the big story.
TOS TV Network mobile app is now available. You can now catch up on our breaking news, stream our programs live, watch out for the latest update on sport and politics as they unfold. You can also get notifications for our upcoming programs and events. All these on our TOS TV Network mobile app, available on Apple Store and Google Play Store. TOS TV News from Africa by Africans.
You're still watching The Conversation on your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television, and you could be a part of the conversation by connecting with us on our various social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TOS TV Network. You could also watch a recap of the conversation via our YouTube page at TOS TV Network, as well as read some of our content via our website at www.tostv.network.com. Yes, it is the big story segment of the conversation this morning, and its focus is going to be on the VAT collection tussle and the state of the country. Joining us via telephone to discuss these as well as other issues is Comrade Waheed Saka, and he is a public affairs analyst. Good morning, sir.
Hello?
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my brother. It's good to be on the platform again.
Yes, sir. You're welcome, sir. So just as I said, VAT collection tussle and the state of the country. What is your take on the Rivers and Lagos government stance on collecting VAT instead of it being remitted to the government, the federal government?
Let me first lay the foundation that value-added tax is a question of law. That is the value-added tax is a question of law and will only be resolved by law. And the truth is, like every other law that came through the decree, it will soon run into, sooner or later, is to surely run into a crisis. And you will recall that value-added tax was introduced via decree number 102 of 1993, which actually replaced sales tax law operated by then state and federal capital territory. Now, we should appreciate the courage of the governor of Rivers State for challenging the federal government on the legality of the federal government collecting value-added tax on behalf of the state. And I want to equally say that there is a lot of economic sense in the proposal of the Rivers State governor that says that there are a higher percentage of money being remitted to the state via the federal government and very little being returned back to the state government. According to him, he said in June 2021, 50.1 billion was remitted via value-added tax in Rivers State, and the sum of 4.7 billion. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
4.7 billion was actually given back to Rivers State via the federal government. This same applicable to Lagos State, which actually remitted the highest number of value-added tax in the country. 46.1 was collected in Lagos State, and only 9.3 billion was remitted via the federal government. Now let me now say this. In Kano State, are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you.
In Kano State, the sum of 2.8 billion was gotten via value-added tax in Kano State.
Yes.
And when the money was actually shared to the federal government,
Yes.
the total sum of 2.8 billion was actually returned to the Kano
Kano
State.
State. Okay.
The equitable distribution of value-added tax cannot be said to be equitable in that instance. Therefore, we should allow the court to actually test this. Some people even create 30 states of the federation will suffer. The said 30 states of the federation, which actually remitted less than 20% of the total VAT in the country, they said they will suffer. Fine. We of abnormality in this, and we cannot continue to shy away from the real issue around it. Like in Kano State banned the consumption of alcohol, and a lot of money from the southern part of value-added tax are generated from alcohol. If you don't actually want to be part of such, you should equally reject money from alcohol from the southern part of the country. There are a lot of issues around it, but I want to say this. The law should take its course. Even if we reach Supreme Court on this, we should allow it to go through its length, and every part of our government should respect the law on this. That is my take.
All right. Okay, so sir, I'm going to ask, what is now the stance what do you expect should be the stance of states who find it difficult to generate IGR, that's internally generated revenue for their states, but still have to run to the federal government all of the time to seek out bailouts to pay either salaries or carry out various infrastructural and development projects in their states, and still have to do same remittances of large sums of money to the federal government and have peanuts returned back to them?
Let me now tell you this. Those states should look more inward. As a matter of fact, recently there was uproar on the issue of creation of more states. If If the current state is not viable,
Yes.
why are we going through that route again?
Okay.
I want to believe every state of the federation has capacity to survive,
Okay.
have the resources to survive.
Okay.
But if they continue to go and get handouts from the federal government,
Yes.
they will never think beyond their territory.
Okay.
So I want to urge all other states to look inward. Like there was an issue around the between Oyo and Osun in the past
Yes.
on the creation of a joint creation of Lado Kakundola University
Yes.
of Technology.
Yes.
Also practically opted out because there was a time also we pay salary and deduction on the salary will be remitted to your state.
Okay.
Those things are not good. If at the end of the day, the River State and I think Lagos State is following suit, and all other states are taking cue from this, everybody will look inward and will look on how to survive. You understand?
Yeah.
Whether through their
Resources.
natural resources
Yes.
or through their human resources,
Yes.
we have enormous resources to survive each state of the federation. Enough of Babiana economy. Going
Okay.
cap in hand to federal government is not viable.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, sooner or later, we will be unraveled collectively.
Mm.
Every state needs to develop at their own pace. That is what Wike has done for the rest of the country.
All right. Okay, so sir, what do you think the topic on independence of states is being discouraged? Why do you think it is being discouraged
I
by
didn't
some
hear you
people?
well, sir.
Okay, so I was asking why you think the topic of independence of states is being discouraged by some people, because the expectation is they should remain, subservient to the federal government in order to ensure some of these financial benefits that they've been getting, if possible, in 1 minute.
I didn't get that question right, sir.
Okay, can you hear me, sir?
I'm hearing you.
Okay, so I was asking why you think some people feel it is best for states to remain dependent on the federal government. Do you subscribe to that belief?
Independent?
Yes, to become dependent.
Okay, see, there is what they call fiscal federalism.
Okay.
If at the end of the day, the surveillance of state to federal government is even questionable under the current arrangement.
Okay.
The reality is every state in a federation should be independent of federal government.
Yeah.
We can only come together on a certain issue of common interest.
Okay.
But on economic development, each state should be developed at their own pace
All right.
and within their own human and natural resources.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Comrade White Saka, for joining us on the program this morning. It's been quite an insightful and enlightening one.
Thank you very much. May God bless this country.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Yes, and that's it for the conversation this morning. Remember, the conversation continues same time, weekdays from Monday to Friday on your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television, and you could be a part of the conversation by connecting with us on our various social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TOS TV Network. You could also watch the conversation via our website at www.tostvnetwork.com, as well as via our YouTube page at TOS TV Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, I am Sagir Ibrahim.
And my name is Ade Sowelsi. Thank you for joining us on the show, and always remember to stay safe.